I just made an AI system that answers customer emails, keeps track of what's in stock, and gets people to come back and buy stuff they left in their carts. Running an online store is really hard. Store owners spend tons of time answering customer questions, or they either run out of popular stuff all the time, and lots of customers put things in their cart but never actually buy them. This wastes a lot of time and money. So I built this system with 3 parts. Part 1, an AI helper that reads emails from customers and either answers them or sends tough questions to real people. Part 2, a stock checker that watches how much stuff you have and tells suppliers when you need more. Part 3, an email sender that reminds people about the stuff they left in their cart and tries to get them to buy it. And the best part is, I'm going to show you how to build this whole thing from nothing. Let's do this. Hey, if you're new here, I'm Alex, and I run Loopsera. We build AI systems for businesses to help them save time and money. So yeah, if that sounds like something you need, just hit the link in the description. And if you've been following my AI automation tutorials and feel like you could use a bit of hands-on help, I'm now offering one-on-one coaching. So whether you're just getting started or stuck on something specific, I've got you. The link is in the description. Now, before we dive in, here's the thing. Most people watch these tutorials, try to build, and get stuck on errors or waste time rebuilding from scratch. That's exactly why I created AI Builders Boardroom. It's my free school community where you get instant access to every workflow from my videos, ready to import. Link is in the description. Okay, let's test this thing out. Let's see if it can handle low inventory. So this right here is our e-commerce database. And let's look at the inventory spreadsheet. And right away, we'll see that this right here is low in stock. Let's see if it'll identify it and send the suppliers an email. Let's go ahead and execute this workflow. So it's being triggered by a schedule trigger. So it's checking the inventory. The assistant sends me an email asking me if it should go ahead and approve. So let's look at this. So you see it sent me an email telling me that the webcam 1080p is low in stock, and if I click approve, it's going to go ahead and email the suppliers. So let's hit approve. Let's go back to our n8n workflow, and right away you'll notice the workflow will continue with the execution. And right now it's emailing the supplier. And if you go back, the supplier is Camtech Solutions. If you look at the supplier's Google Sheet, so this is Camtech Solutions, this is their email. Let's go back to the sent emails. Let's reload this. So let's open this email. So this is the email it sent to the supplier, which means it's working fine. Now let's go ahead and test this other part. It's supposed to handle order email. So let's go ahead and email asking about an order. So let's go to the orders Google Sheet. Let's, for example, assume we are David and we're following up on this order. Let's copy this tracking number. Let's email back. So question about my order. Follow up on my order. Let's hit send. Let's activate this. Let's execute this workflow. So right now it's reading the email, checking if it's an order related email, and if it is, it checks if it also requires escalation to the team. So if it doesn't, it replies automatically to the it replies automatically to the client. And you see right here, we already got an email. So it's saying, hi, thanks for reaching out. I can help with your order follow-up. So it's looking for an order ID. So we'll copy this. So the order number is this. And so we can say I'm David. So I'm David O, because this is the order we are tracking. And let's hit send. Let's go back to our workflow. Now let's execute this workflow. So it's checking if the email is an order related email. It's reading this order's Google Sheet. And I think it's gonna send me the tracking number, or maybe this tracking URL. So let's see. So it doesn't require escalation. It instantly replies to me. Let's go back to the email and check what it sent. So, hi David, thanks for the update. So, and the order number, I found the order, and summary, it gave me the summary and the tracking link. So next, let's say, can I speak to someone from your team? Let's hit send. Let's go back to the n8n workflow. Now, if I click execute workflow, it's going to figure out if the last email I sent needs escalation. So let's find out. Let's test this. So it's checking the email. So it instantly noticed that escalation is required. So it sent me an email, and it also sent an email to the team. Let's go ahead. Let's go back and check. So you can see, hi David, thanks. I've forwarded your message to the specialist team. A member from the team will contact you at this email address, all that. Let's see what the team has been sent. Escalation. So this is the escalation email sent to the team. So escalation request gives us the customer name, email, order number, order notes, and all that. Next, let's try this abandoned cart flow. Let's execute this workflow and see. If you go back to the Google Sheet, we'll have a look at the abandoned carts. So this agent is supposed to send different emails based on how many reminders it sent. So it's going to send a different email for each reminder. Let's go ahead and test. So let's test this. So it's reading this abandoned cart Google Sheet, and then sending reminder emails to each of these customers. So it sent a second email. It's supposed to send 3 emails. So you'll notice it's sending an email and updating this Google Sheets. Let's see if it sends the last email. Yeah, it looks like it sent the last email. Okay, so it sent 3 emails. Let's see the emails it sent. Yeah, so this is the first email. Yeah, it's not delivered because this email address does not exist. It's just an example email address. So this is the email it sent. So Alice had abandoned red sneakers. So it's sending a reminder, and Alice was supposed to get their third reminder. Let's see. So for the third reminder, it's giving you a discount. So, and it's also giving you a code, a discount code. The next client was supposed to be Brian Kim, and he had abandoned a blue denim jacket. Let's see. So it's Brian, blue denim jacket. Another reminder. So this is the second reminder. So it's nudging them, telling them that the cart will expire soon. And this is the third customer. So Carlos Mendez, and they had abandoned wireless earbuds and a phone case with a cut value of 120, and they're supposed to be sent a first reminder. And this is the first reminder, and it also gives us a link to return to carts. So this is everything. Okay, so let's start by building this handle order emails flow. I already built this handle low inventory flow. I'm going to leave a link to the video in the description, or it's going to pop up somewhere up here. So we'll start with this handle order emails. And the way you'd like to think of this is instead of building, I know it's fun building, but we'd first need to have a look at the high level process. Think of it how like a human would handle this. So we'll go to Figma, and what we'll do is we'll create a new FigJam. So we've got a new FigJam, and we'll rename this to just give it a name, handle order emails. Something relevant, and we'll start designing the operational flow. Like how assume we don't have this AI automation, how you currently do it. So so we'll click on this right here, and then add our first node. So it's going to be receive an email from a customer. So when you receive an email from a customer, assuming you're the one checking emails, you're going to check if the email. So the next step you're going to do is you're going to check if the email is an order related email. Again, I'm going to be doing live builds like this in my school community, so be sure to like join it. So let's continue. So we're going to check if it's an order related email, and so we need two scenarios. So it's yes if it's an order related email, and the next scenario is no. If it's not. So if it's not an order related email, we'll simply ignore it. Okay. So what happens if it's an order related email? If it's an order related email, the first thing we'll do is we'll check this orders spreadsheet to see if to see the status of the order. So that's what we're going to do next. So again, this thing doesn't have to be perfect. It's just a high level overview of the process. We'll just refine it while we are building the workflow. So check. And once we've checked, we are going to then reply to customer. So that now we have knowledge. And assuming you are a low-level employee and you'd like to escalate this, so we can add that condition. So we can reply to customer, and Here we can add the condition if it requires escalation. Let's space this out. So inform the team. So this is how we want this system to operate. Now, let's create a new workflow. So a new workflow. Let's move this close to the new workflow. We'll need to rename this to something important. So maybe Ecom AI agent, something relevant. Now, the very first thing we need to do is receive an email. And for this, we'll need a Gmail trigger or whatever email provider you're using. So the Gmail trigger in our case, and select the right credential. If you don't know how to set up this, there's a lot of tutorials on YouTube. I'll try to link to a video that shows you exactly how to set this up. I'm gonna leave a link in the description. Okay, so we're going to turn off simplify. The event is on message received. And what you're going to do is you're going to test this system. So we'll go ahead and send an email. You can just use the same email address you're using, but you need to send yourself the email. So Ecomojo, then question about my order. And then hit send. Then let's go back to the workflow we're building. Let's click fetch test event. Okay, let's click execute workflow. Let's hit save. Looks like it's not showing up anything. Let's click this plus button. Again, it's saying we didn't find any data in Gmail to simulate. If you come across this sort of error, just the first thing you're going to do is reload this page. So let's reload this. Okay, let's test this again. So please create one in Gmail. So it appears it didn't detect the email you sent. Let's go ahead and send the same email from another Gmail account. So let's compose another. Okay, so let's go back to our n8n workflow. Let's test. Now we've got something. Let's open this node by double clicking on it, and it appears. Now it reads the email. So you see, we can't send ourselves an email. We'll need to send an email from another address. So we've learned something new. Let's continue building this. Let's look at our Figma. So we've received an email. we now need to check if the email is an order related email, and we need an AI of some sort to help us check the email. So it's going to read through the email to see if it's an order related email. So I think we'll click on this plus button right here, click on AI, and we're going to select AI agent. Okay, and we are going to define below. Now we need to feed it the email, and we'll need three things. We'll feed it the subject, the email subject. We'll also feed it the email body. So we'll have to scroll to in the left. So the left pane, we'll have to scroll through, and let's see. Let's look for the email body. This appears to be the email body, so we'll drag and drop it there. The best part is it gives us a preview. So let's say, let's name this email body. And from this preview, we can see it already labels the subject as subject, so we don't need to like add this. And then next we'll need the email sender. And the email sender, let's see, it's supposed to be from. So this is to, this is from, this right here. We'll drag and drop it here, and we'll just give it a label. So we'll say from. Okay. Apart from input, we also need to tell this system, this AI agent, how it's supposed to handle the inputs that we are feeding it. And so we're going to add a system message. Now we need to prompt it here. And for that, you can either use the good old ChatGPT or equivalent. And okay, let's get back to it. We'll add a chat model. So in my case, I'm using OpenRouter. So you'll have to set up an account with OpenRouter. Once you set up an account, you'll need to top up your credits. So by clicking on your profile picture on the top right, then clicking credits. And now you're going to click add credits. Next, you'll need to acquire an API key. And you'll do so by clicking create API key, give it a name, give it add limit. So this is how much you want to spend. So if you top up $10 and you don't want to spend more than $5, this is where you add the credit limit. So you're going to add $5 as your credit limit. Then you're going to click create. Gonna go back to your workflow. It's gonna tell you to create a new credential, and then you're going to paste your API key here and then save. The chat model we're going to use is going to be 4.1 mini, but let's try the new chat model. So GPT-5 mini, it's cheaper than 4.1 mini. And okay, so we've added the AI. Let's rename this to something relevant. So let's say orders AI agent. That makes sense. Now in my case, what I did is I just went to ChatGPT. Let's say the orders AI agent. One thing you can do, you can just highlight this, copy. So no, you'll highlight this whole thing, paste it here, and then tell ChatGPT what to do. So help me prompt this AI agent to check if incoming emails are order related emails, and we'll hit enter. And you see it's giving us a super long prompt, which I don't want to, I really don't want to use. So I'll switch the model. I'll use GPT-4o and then tell it make it super concise. I'm still not a big fan of this. So let me try something else. With the technical. Okay, this isn't that badly off. So let's click on this Gmail trigger. Let's click on the letter P to pin the data, or you can also right click and then select pin, or you can click on these three dots up here, and then this is going to say pin. So let me unpin this. So you see, so if I right click, it's going to be pin. I'm going to click on pin, it's going to pin. If I click on these three dots and click on pin, it's the same thing. So let's go ahead and paste this prompt here. Okay, so let's execute step. So it's outputted as true, which is correct. But we need a better way of doing this, because there's another check we need. We need to check if it's an order related email. We also need to check if it requires escalation or not. So let's give it a better output. So we're going to click require specific output format. So we're going to turn this on. Then we're going to click at the bottom right here, we're going to click on this plus icon. By the way, it's the same thing as clicking this button right here. And then let's click structured output parser. And now here we're going to define data types we want as output. So we'll say is order related and we want it to output as either true or false. So we leave it as is. We'll delete the comma after true, and the error is now gone. Let's copy this. Let's go back and to the system message. Let's click on the expressions tab. Then let's maximize this. Let's mention output format, and then paste it here. Since this is a title, we can add this pound sign, and we'll be good to go. Let's execute this step again. So now we have a better output. Next, we need to add an if node. So if So if we go back, we need to check. So we've checked if it's an order related email. So we need an if node so that we can continue with our flow. If this is an order related email, we'll go down this routes, and if it's not, we should ignore. So let's add an if node. Let's drag and drop this, the output from the AI agent, and click this drop down list. It's going to highlight the data type, which is Boolean. Boolean simply means it's either true or false, and let's say is true. So let's give this a better name. If it's an order email, and then let's test this. So true, we'll go down this route. So since we don't want to do anything if it's not an order email, we'll leave this false branch empty. So it's gonna stop here. Let's continue building. So if it's an order email, we also need to check, does it need escalation? And that's where our prompt needs to, we need to play with our prompts to handle escalation issues. Now, to save time, let me just use the prompt that I already came up with. So this is the prompt I came up with. It's a pretty detailed prompt. Let's go back here. Let's paste it there. And here we've given it the responsibilities. Let's test this AI agent again. And so what this AI agent does based on this prompt is it checks if an order is if the email is an order related email, and outputs either true or false, and it checks if the email requires escalation, outputs true or false, and then it also gives us the customer reply, so the reply that's supposed to be sent to the customer, and then the team reply. So this is the reply in case we need escalation. So what the team gets. So that's it. Let's test this. So I think we also need to update our structured output parser because we now need 4 things. Let's go back to our previous output parser. Let's copy. Let's go back here. Let's paste this format. So is order related email true or false? Requires escalation is either true or false. Customer reply and the team reply. Let's test this workflow. It should now give us 4 outputs. Yes, so we've got now 4 outputs. Okay, it's an order related email, so let's test this too. So it's going to go through the true branch. Next, we want to check if if it requires escalation. So we'll need another if node. So we'll add another if node. We'll drag and drop this requires escalation. Okay, and if it requires escalation, and then remember we need to select the right data type, and if it's true, so we'll test this, and you'll notice it will go down the false branch because it doesn't require escalation. So we'll continue building. If it doesn't require escalation, it means we need to reply to the client. So for this, we'll need a Gmail node, and we'll need a reply reply to our message. Okay, so it needs, so we need to, so okay, let's select the right credential. The resource is supposed to be message. The operation is supposed to be reply, and it appears we need the message ID. Okay, now for the message ID, we'll need to get it from the Gmail trigger. So from the left window, we need to look for a message ID, and it appears to be this too. So it's not a thread ID, so it appears to be this ID right here. So we'll drag and drop it. The email type, since you're not writing it in HTML, we'll select text because you're just replying it in text. And then we'll drag and drop the actual message that's supposed to be the reply to the customer. Then let's test it. Yeah, it looks like it sent it. So let's go back and check our email. Yeah, and it looks like we've got the reply, and this is working fine. Now let's go ahead and test it again. Can I speak to someone from your team? Let's hit send. We'll go back to our workflow. Now we'll need to unpin this and test this workflow again. So let's save. Remember, n8n at the time of recording this video doesn't automatically save the workflow for you, so you need to save. Now let's execute this workflow again. Remember, this time it's supposed to identify it as an email that requires escalation because we've requested to speak to someone from the team. And we've clearly mentioned that in the prompt. And this is what we mentioned. So it needs to determine whether the issue can be solved automatically. Basically, if it's an issue that cannot be solved by reading this orders spreadsheet, it's supposed to escalate to the team. Let's go back to the workflow, to the canvas. Okay. Let's see. So we can connect you. So it's asking for my order ID. Okay, let's go ahead and give it the order ID. So it's, let's go back. So it looks like it needs the order ID so that it can properly escalate this to the team. So let's provide it the order ID. Let's hit send. Let's go back. Let's continue building our workflow. Let's execute this workflow. Okay, let's wait for it to run. Now you see it's identified that it needs escalation once it's got the order ID. Okay. We forgot one tool. This orders AI agent is supposed to read this this Google Sheet. And by the way, I'm going to share this Google Sheet. Please don't work on this. Once you get this, so let me go to the old workflow. So once you get this, you're going to open the Google Sheet by clicking on this button right here. It's going to take you to this Google Sheet, and you're going to click on File and make a copy of this spreadsheet. And now you're free to work on it. Okay, so we need to hit the tool. So add Google Sheet tool. This is the whole process of building workflows. Sometimes you might forget to add a few things, but always remember as soon as you add them. So it's the module sheet. It's supposed to it's supposed to read the orders, and yeah, I think it's supposed to filter by the order ID. Then click on this button to leave it to the AI to add the order ID as soon as it gets it. Now we're good. The next thing, we need this AI agent to have memory. So we need to add memory. So we'll add a simple memory. We'll define below. So the key is supposed to be the sender's email, just so it has a record of the conversations. Let's see. So we're looking for the from. So from, this is the email address. Let's drag and drop it there. So the context window length, how many previous conversations that do we want this memory to have? Let's say 10. Let's click save. Now we're good. Let's execute the workflow. Let's see. So you see it's supposed to read the Google Sheet, look for the order number, then escalate to the team. Okay, so it doesn't have fast memory. Okay, let's see what email it sent us. Thanks for your order ID. I found an order. If you didn't receive, you see it didn't have history of this message. Can I speak to someone from your team? Yeah, so it didn't have history of this message, and it's giving us our details. Okay, let's send the same email again. Let's paste, let's hit send. Let's go back to our workflow. Now let's execute workflow. You see, based on the prompt I had given it, the very first thing it was supposed to do is check this spreadsheet before anything else. So if it doesn't receive an order ID, it won't output anything here. So it's filtering by the order ID. Now you see, it's identified that the email now needs escalation. Let's go ahead and finish this workflow. Now, if we need escalation, let's go back to Figma. So we first need to reply to the customer, telling them that we've escalated to the team, and then now we need to also inform the team. So this means we need. Let's duplicate this. The reply to the customer. Let's add it there. Let's open the node. Let's see if everything else is okay. So everything else looks good. And the best part is we can even preview our message. So if we expand this, we'll see the message it just came up with. Okay, apart from replying to the customer, we also want it to inform the team. So we'll click on this plus icon, search Gmail, and then we'll select send a message. We'll delete this. We'll add it here and select the right credential. So two, it's supposed to send to the team. So you'll hard code the team's email here. And the subject, you can write up the subject. The email type is supposed to be text. The message is the team reply. So team reply right here. And we can pin this, can execute this again. Let's see. So you see, it sent the team an email, and it also sent the customer an email. We can go back to our Gmail, check. So this is the email it sent to the customer, and let's look at this. Let's look at the emails it sent to the team. So this is the email it sent to the team, and it looks like it's working fine. So we are done with these parts. We're done with these parts. Now let's build the handling abandoned carts flow. Okay, we're done with that. Now we'll need a schedule trigger for this. So a schedule trigger. So in terms of the trigger interval, it's up to you to decide. So for me, it will trigger every single day at midnight. So maybe we can put this at like 9 a.m. Consider it time. You don't want to email guys at midnight about their order. So let's click save. Now, after it's scheduled, so let's go ahead. Let's go and see. The flow is simple. So check. It needs to check the abandoned cart sheet. So it needs to check this abandoned cart spreadsheet. See if there's a customer that had an abandoned cart and it wasn't recovered, so it will identify all of them, and then send an email. Send a reminder email, and if you've sent a reminder email, you need to update the abandoned cart sheet. And this is what I'm talking about. If you send an email, you need to say that you sent an email. So if you sent the first reminder email, you need to add a sent. Check this for your second and third. Okay, so the next step is we need to check this spreadsheet. So we need a Google Sheet node, and then it's supposed to be get rows. Select the right credentials, select the right document. So it's going to be Ecom module sheets. Select the right spreadsheet. So it's supposed to be abandoned carts. And then we're going to execute. That's how we test. So we're going to execute. But we don't want it to read the whole. If you look at the output, let me drag this. If you look at the output, it's reading the whole Google Sheet, which is inefficient because it's going to be slow. Remember, this is a really small, it's a really small Google Sheet, but it's going to grow even larger. And it doesn't make sense loading all entries into n8n because it's going to slow n8n down. It would be a good idea if we only get details of abandoned carts that haven't been recovered yet. So we need to filter. And for that, we'll go, in the middle pane, we'll scroll all the way down, and you'll see this add filter button, and then we'll select the column it's supposed to filter. So we'll use the, so if you go back to our spreadsheet, it's called the recovered column. So we'll look for the recovered column in this drop-down list, and then the value we are checking for is no. So we'll copy this, go back to our workflow, and select no as the value, then execute step. We've tested this, and now we're only getting details of abandoned carts that we need to follow up on, and that's exactly what we need. So next, we'll need an AI agent to send the reminder. So send the reminder. So an AI agent. Let's give this a better name. So define below the source for prompt. Now for the prompt, we'll drag and drop the details. So the cart ID, the customer name, the email, the phone number, the item, cart value, abandoned date. That's all you need. I think, no, we also need this AI agent to know if reminders have been sent. So reminder 1, reminder 2, reminder 3. So we'll drag and drop everything. So recovered. Okay. Now we need to label this. So let's maximize this. So for each and every parameter we've drag and dropped, we need to label them, because from the preview, this is what the AI agent says. So it doesn't know what sent means, what this means. So we need to give it a label. So we'll copy this cart ID. You see now it makes sense. It knows that this is the cart ID and the value is this. Next, we copy this. It knows what this customer name is, and that. See, now it's cleaner. Now the AI agent knows what each value is. Okay, so that's the input. But we've just given it the input. We need to tell it what it needs to do with these inputs. So we'll need to add a system prompt. And so we'll click, so at the bottom, we'll click this add option, then a system message. Now we need to generate a system message. Like I said, you can use ChatGPT, tell it exactly what it's supposed to do. But in my case, I'm going to use the system prompts I used before. So I'll copy everything. I'm gonna paste it here. I'm going to click expression. And you see, if I click expression, this lights up and it gives us the current date. So how you get this, on your left pen, yeah, you're going to click on this drop down list, variables and context, and you're going to see it here. You're going to drag and drop it there. You see, you also need to label that so that this AI agent knows what this is. And so you see, this is the system prompt. So for each row, the recovered is no. It's going to write a persuasive email. Then it's going to use these fields. Then we've given it the tone it's supposed to use. And then how it's supposed to write the email. So it's writing the email in HTML format. And then the reminders. So we're explaining to it how it's supposed to handle the reminders. So while I was building this, I realized it was skipping. So for example, it will send the first reminder and then mark as the second reminder that has been sent and leave the reminder 1 slot empty. So with this, I told it to never go to the next reminder if the first is empty. That's basically what this prompt says here. And then here we've given it the sample. So what it's supposed to send for each reminder. So for example, the first reminder, it's supposed to be like a Apple Light reminder. The second one is supposed to create urgency. Then the last one, give them some sort of a promo code. And that's it with the system message. So let's give this AI agent a chat model. So we're going to use OpenRouter. Let's use the GPT-5. And we also need to give this memory. So simple memory. So we're going to define below now for the session key. We are going to drag and drop the email. So this email right here. And context, maybe we can say 10. Doesn't even matter. And we need 2 other tools. So we need a Google Sheet tool. So that's a Google Sheet tool. Let's open it. And the drop-down list, we're going to click Ecom module, the right credentials, select the right sheet it's supposed to read. So it's abandoned cart. It's supposed to be update. Sorry, it's supposed to be update. Now this tool is what this AI agent will use to mark the reminders as sent in these columns. And okay, so it's updates. We want it to match by cat ID. And then we don't want to touch these other columns. The only columns we need it to update is reminder 1, reminder 2, reminder 3, and recovered. Next, we'll need a Gmail tool. So this is the tool this AI agent will use to send the reminder emails. Let's select the right credentials. So 2, we're going to leave it to the AI to figure out who to send the email to. Subject, also leave it to the AI to figure it out. Now for the message, also leave it to the AI to figure it out. I guess that's it with this tool. Now we can go ahead and test this. So it's telling me forbidden pass. I check my credentials. Okay, requiring, so OpenAI is requiring a key to access. Okay, so it looks like GPT-5 doesn't work with tools. Let's use GPT-5 mini. Let's save this workflow. Let's test this again. Then let's have a look at our workflow. So it's supposed to send an email to two people. This guy right here, Brian Kim, and this guy right here, Carlos Mendes. Let's see. Looks like you're running into errors. Okay. Let's see. But it sent an email. Okay. Maybe, let's see. Let's just wait. Well, it looks like it's looping indefinitely. So let's stop this run. Let's see what the problem might be. So yeah, you see, we in the reminders we didn't leave it to the AI to fill it in. So let's click these buttons. Okay, let's click save. Let's give it another try. So it looks like this AI agent was struggling because it's supposed to update, but it's got nowhere to update. So maybe that's why it was going in circles. So it sent an email. Let's go back to our Google Sheet. It looks like we're still running into issues. Okay, we've run into another issue. Let's stop this workflow. Let's open this tool. Let's scroll. If you look keenly, you notice we hadn't selected the column to match on. So let's click cut ID. So that's the column we're using to match. So you see, if you're using the update tool, just like the way a human would go through this Google Sheet. So if you're looking for Brian Kim, even if we had a list of like 100 people, you'll filter based on the customer name. So you'll go and look through the whole list and looking for the name Brian Kim. Once you find it, then you're going to read all the other details. So if you need to update something, then you'll update it on that row. So that's the same way this update row works. So this AI agent does the same process. So we fixed that issue. Let's run it again. Again, don't forget to save. So let's hit save as this is running. So it sent an email, and now it looks like the update row has worked. Yep, so it's updated this. Let's see. It also looks like it sent Brian Kim an email. So I'll go to the email, look at the sent tab. Yes, it sent him an email. Nice. So let's test this. So it sent a second email. Same thing. Let's look at the Google Sheet. So it updated reminder 2. We'll check the email. Sent column. It's sent to Carlos. And yep, Carlos Mendes was sent a reminder. And yeah, this is what it sent, which is pretty good. So now let's label this. Let's use the sticky notes to label this different sections correctly. So we'll say handle abandoned cut. Let's get another sticky note. And this right here handles handle order related emails. Yeah, now it looks nice and clean. Let's save this workflow. Like I said, I'm going to leave a link to the video showing you how I built this. Handle low inventory. So I'll paste it here. This is how it's going to look. Gonna click save, and this is everything. And that's it with this video. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like. Don't forget to comment if you've got a question. And lastly, don't forget to subscribe. Like I said, my team builds custom AI solutions like this for businesses designed to cut costs and save time. So hit the link in the description if you want one for your business.